Hello, everyone. Mark Stark here, Facebook Live, as I am every Tuesday, 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. All right, we are still in our series, Personal Mastery That Will Affect Your Business and Your Life. Today, we have a sensitive topic. All these can be considered somewhat sensitive when you're talking about personal mastery, but today I think is that next level. We're going to talk about self-esteem and insecurities. Now, I have to preface this. Today's message in no way, shape, or form is here to judge, beat up on anyone in any way, shape, or form. My goal is always to give you some insight on yourself so you can use it to be more productive and certainly move in the direction that you personally want to move. But it is a sensitive subject. And so I just want everyone to be open-minded, and I hope today's message gives you some great content that you find valuable. All right. So first of all, if you're human, and I'm going to assume everyone watching this right now is human. If you are human, then guess what? You have insecurities. Every single one of us have insecurities. However, what I've seen through my many years in leadership is there's people who have the ability to manage their insecurities. We all got them, but you know what? Those individuals manage them and work with them. And really, there's people who take that management to the next level and continue getting better and better and better. When we use the word mastery, you don't ever, master it perfectly, but you don't have to. You keep moving more and more in a positive direction. Because having a proper self-esteem, I guess the definition's right in the word, self-esteem. It's how you perceive you. And, basically, you provide yourself the personal acceptance of your success. I cannot tell you how important that is. When you are your best friend, when you are on your side, when you know what, if I put in the time, I put in the effort, I can succeed at X level, whatever that level is to you. Now, there's some realities that I want to share here that I really think, for me, they get really frustrating because I look at what people go through, and some of it makes no sense when you really compare real life to what's going on. All right, so we're talking about self-esteem and insecurities. Some things to think about. Fear, mistakes, challenges, problems. Who ever thought that they were not supposed to be part of the process? They're part of the process for everything, for all of us. Fear is there. It's not, is fear present? It's how we react to it and what we do. Problems are going to be there. Challenges, whatever you want to call them, are going to be there. Mistakes, we're going to blow it. We're going to make these mistakes. You know what I find so interesting is, and I have two daughters, two teenage daughters, and I have to tell you is, and I see this universally, it doesn't have to be female or male, in people, but that if someone says a ton of nice things to you over a period of time, if someone gives you kudos over a period of time, if someone tells you how great you've done or how great you look or whatever the case may be over a period of time, that tends to have difficulty sinking in. However, if someone says something negative to you, if someone says something that isn't so nice, boy, you can take that in instantly. You're amazing at taking that information in. In fact, sometimes we take that information, we don't even need the information, and we have all this stuff going on in our head that is not in our best interest, is not giving us pats on the back, is not supporting us. It's giving all this negative thought process, all this negative self-talk. I don't get that. Full disclosure is, we all have our insecurities, including me, but I have to tell you, I, most of the time, as I'm a good friend of me. You know what? I have my back. I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm going to have problems. I know things aren't going to go exactly the way they're supposed to go. I believe that's normal. I don't beat myself up for that stuff. And certainly if I do something that I learn from, great, don't do that same mistake again, but you blew it. There's things in my life that I'm not proud of that I ever did, but I did it. They're in the past. They don't exist today. And move on, and let's not leave the lesson on the table. Guys, if you can't take the positives in and you're only letting the negatives come in, that's a personal choice. And if that is your plan of attack for you, well, you're really choosing to hold yourself back for a very, very long time. We all can succeed at whatever level we choose to succeed at. But you got to give yourself the pats on the back. And no, you don't have to have the super high highs and overdo it. But I also don't want you to have the super low lows. Stay focused on your goal. Stay focused on what you're trying to achieve. All right? Give yourself the kudos. Sometimes the kudos is just doing it. You know what? Going to the gym and working out. You didn't accomplish anything. You can't see anything that day. But you want to know something? You were there. That's a kudos. That's a pat on the back. That's powerful. I'll be in my car and I'll be driving and I'll see someone running or riding their bike or doing something activity. I now am trained. I look at them. They don't know I'm doing it. I look at them and I'll go, good for you. Great job. Great job. You know what? You're motivating me. You've never even met me, but you're motivating me because you're out there doing something for yourself. I don't know if that's the first time they ever did it or the number 100th time. It doesn't matter. Look for those opportunities to say to yourself, you know what? That was an effort. And I appreciate myself for putting in that effort. All right, next. I want you to know with self-esteem and insecurities, it's dangerous to ignore. Dangerous. If you're truly someone who is insecure, and I have to tell you, if your insecurities are managing you, we went over that example. Other people can manage their insecurities. If your insecurities are managing you, I have to tell you, most all the time, you can't make good decisions. Your decisions are contaminated. They're contaminated with a thought process that's a fantasy. It's not real. You have this in your mind of what things might happen, of what people may be saying. None of it's factual. It's your facts that you're making up in your head that's coming from deep inside of you somewhere that's allowing you to think that way, right? You have to understand that strong insecurities that are managing you, you will make poor decisions because they're coming into the decision process as you make them. And I have to tell you, there's even unintended consequences. Sometimes you want a decision to go one way, but because of certain insecurities, you're making a decision where if you really had time to think about it, you don't even want that outcome to happen. But you know what? Your decisions are being driven by those insecurities. One of the most dangerous aspects is when insecurities, personal insecurities are managing you. Again, we all have them, but I want you to really think about, I manage my insecurities. They're there, and I manage them. And you know what? And I'm very cognizant that when I make decisions, I'm sensitive to stepping back and not letting my insecurities drive those decisions. And last, certainly but not least, let's go over a couple solutions. So what are some solutions that you can do to help along this? Well, one is do something to test yourself. Here's the beautiful thing about stretching yourself to test yourself to do something. Even if it's not accomplishing exactly the outcome that you want yet, you know what? That test, that activity will help build that self-esteem. Once you own what you've stretched yourself with, what you have helped your own efforts create, you own it. No one can take that away from you. And you will show yourself by your actions of what you can actually do in your life. Even though, you know what? I haven't seen the final outcome yet, But I know if I continue down this road, I'll get better and better and better. I know it. Why do you know it? Because you did it. You're doing it. You experienced it. May not have been easy. In fact, it could have been tough. And that's okay. But that activity itself, your commitment to stretching yourself and getting yourself out there, is a way to build that self-esteem and control those insecurities. And last but not least, please, please, please don't ever find yourself comparing yourself to anyone. You want to compare yourself to your best ability. That is something to compare to. You know what? Here's me at my best. Here's my best version of myself. That's what I want to attain. Great. That's you, and you can do that. But anytime you compare yourself to other people or other things, you're going down a road that, one, in my opinion, doesn't even matter. It doesn't affect your life. What you want to do is move yourself in the direction and the solution and the outcome you want. So why are you comparing yourself to anyone else or any situation? That is when your ego kicks in, and ego, in that sense, is another form of your insecurities showing their true colors. All right? Summing up to today, look, self-esteem for success is really, really important. Self-talk of how you talk about yourself, how you think about yourself, even though you don't even say a word, matters. And I want you to choose to be your best friend. Because if you truly are your best friend, your self-esteem will grow and you will manage those insecurities. All right, I hope today was valuable for you. I hope you got some great insight. Certainly like it, share it, and if you haven't already done that, I look forward to following me. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.